Okay. Good afternoon, sir. So welcome to Norakle ERP. Norakle ERP is a business management solution that enables businesses to manage their processes effectively. Norakle have different packages, but we deploy it based on customer requirement and needs. One, Norakle have customer relationship management, inventory management, accounting software, payroll management, HR, as well as document management. You also use Norakle to manage your assets and also projects. That means as an organization, if you have projects, you can be able to create the project, assign tasks, be able to follow through until the project is completed. And you can also be able to track the expenses incurred on any project. Apart from it, also, it have a workflow approval where an organization will have a hierarchy of different approval before payment will be issued. So it means that anytime that someone needs to make payment, apart from raising the payment voucher, the top authority need to be approved. And because this is a cloud solution, it doesn't matter where the location of the person, it can be approved irrespective of where he or she is. So these things make businesses to be able to get their operations running without further delay. So first, under the customer module helps you to manage all the information that relate to customers, from adding up of customers to managing of customer information in terms of having a comprehensive database of customers. Also, you can add contacts on customer. That is to say, if you have customer A and customer A have different contacts, you can be able to add contacts on that customer, making it easy that at every point, you can easily be able to call the right contact that you want to reach out when it comes to a particular customer. Through Norakle, you can also be able to issue customer quotation. Customer quotation in the sense that sometimes people want to use your service, they will ask you to send them your cost. So at that point, it's not yet a business, it's not yet sales. So you can also use Norakle to generate quotation and share with your prospect. Quotation can also be converted to invoice. Like, for example, this is a quotation, I can use it to convert it to invoice. And it makes it easy that the quotation you have already issued, you don't need to repeat it again. You can just convert it to sales. And it makes processes easy for whoever that's in charge, and also to be able to monitor all the transactions you have executed with a particular customer. Then apart from it, we have sales. In our sales, we have basically three types of sales: invoice, point of sales, and complementary sales. So invoice is a module that you use to issue invoice to your customers. For example, the services that you offer, the product that you sell to customers, you can also be able to issue invoice to customers. And upon payment, that will now lead to what we call receipt manager. But apart from issuing invoice, especially for businesses that deal with working customers, like where customers walk in and make use of your service or buy your product and they are paying instantly, that is working customer. So such people, you can use point of sales instead of you to issue invoice and also issue receipt. So you can just use point of sales to make such sales, in the point that as you are issuing the sales, the system will automatically create both invoice and also allow you to make payment. That is the reason why here by the side, you will see cash, POS, transfer, which enables you to select the means at which their customer paid for these goods or services. Then we now have another one that we call receipt manager. For those customers who you give invoice, of course, you're expecting them to pay. Once they pay, you can be able to issue receipt to such customer. And now forget, everything you are entering into the system is linking directly to your account, so that it will be easy that you can easily generate your profit and loss. You can easily generate your balance sheet. You can easily generate your trial balance. So here we now have what we call credit note, where applicable, maybe if you are dealing with physical product, where customers buy and return. So you can be able to issue credit notes. Then we now have customer refund. Sometimes you offer services or you sell product to a customer and the return it, or the services go wrong, that the customer is requesting for refund. You use the customer refund module to be able to record the refund that you have also made to customer. Now, if you look at, we have other customer, we have a birthday list. Now, because one of the things we do is that we integrated box SMS into the system. You can easily send SMS to your customer. The system can also send SMS, happy birthday, to your customers, like any day that they are having birthday, the system will automatically send happy birthday to that customer. So all these things are very much possible with the use of Norakle ERP. Then in report, we have different kind of report that we generate, like list of customers, sales book, account receivable, which is the people who are owing you, the account statement, where you can be able to see in detail all the transactions that have occurred with you and a particular customer, like the invoices that you have given to them, the payment they have made, and if they are owing you, the outstanding. So these things are possible with Norakle ERP. Then we have sales by customers, where you can be able to see all the sales according to the customer. Like, for example, you see this shima, you see the sales that he make, the same shima again, he bought another thing. So you see Hope, Ada, you can be able to see sales according to each customer. This makes it easy for you to always know how a particular customer that has transacted with you over a period of time. Because in every report, there's a date range where you can select from so-so date to so-so date, right? Then we also have under the report what we call sales summary, where you can be able to see summary of each transaction based on the product or services that you offer. We also have what we call profit margin. Profit margin is a module that enables you to be able to see the profit that the company makes between the cost price and the selling price. So apart from it, there are many reports you can generate under the customer performance, sales by sales rep. Assuming you have different people that market for you, maybe you have a program where you give them commission. So you can use this sales by sales rep to track what each person have made for the customer to enable you to know how to reward them accordingly. So all these reports are very much possible in Norakle. Then under supplier, you can be able to manage and add suppliers information into the system. And you can also be able to categorize your suppliers. You can also be able to raise purchase order. For example, maybe a particular item is getting, you people need to add up items, or there's a new item that you people need to purchase. So you can use purchase order to raise it, so that the management will give approval before you can have to send the same to the supplier to supply to you, or people will go market to buy it. Then we now have supplier invoice, which is used to record whatever purchase that people have made through the supplier, or if people are into selling a product, the product that you have purchased that is made for sales. Then we have supplier payments. Supplier payment is a module that you use to keep the record of all the payments that you have made to suppliers, okay? Then we have inventory. So in your business, do people do anything with inventory?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so in inventory, you can be able to categorize your products in terms of different, you create different categories of products, and you can also use add product and services to be able to add the product or services that you offer based on the category you have already set up, the name of the product, the cost price, the selling price. If it's something that involves distributor price, that is wholesale price, you enter the amount there. If not, you leave it empty. Then we have opening quantity, which is the quantity that you have before starting using of Norakle, right? So you can also set up services. Just select the categories of the services, the name of the service, then the service charge, and of course, you can also be able to integrate barcode if your business requires such. So Norakle gives the capacity that you can be able to generate barcode for your product, both whether barcode, whether QR code. All these things are very much possible in Norakle. Then outside this, we now have different reports that we can generate. Okay, sorry. You can adjust your item, which we call item adjustment. You can also adjust your price, which we call price adjustment. Then if a product gets damaged or gets lost, it can also be that a product expired. So you need to record them under what we call item wastage and loss. And we have adjust item opening balance. You can be able to adjust item opening balance. So we also have different kind of report that is under inventory management. One is what we call item by report, item report. Item, where you can be able to see each item, what have been sold under that item. You also see sales by category, where you can be able to see the sales based on the way you have categorized your product and services. We also have item valuation. Item valuation will show you in detail how many items do you have, the cost of that asset item, and the value. So you can be able to see all the list of your assets, and you can be able to see the value. Don't forget, any report in this Norakle can be printed, can be exported to Excel, can be downloaded, exported to PDF, can also be sent to email. So all these things are very much possible in Norakle ERP. Then we have what we call, under the report, what we call item movement. Item movement is used to track the movement of items in the system. For example, it's mainly useful more if you are dealing with physical products and maybe item gets lost. The easiest way to be able to track that asset, that item, is through item movement. So when you search for a particular item, the system will automatically show you the item and what have happened in that item. For example, here, the system is showing us that it's opening balance of 10, which is outflow, meaning that we sold to this person called Chima. Then another day we buy this 100 quantity, and we also return to supplier, which is 10, and again we sold to this person. So you see, the system can be able to show you what have time. There is a scroll down also. You will see what we call best-selling item. So look at the best-selling item by value and best-selling item by quantity. So all these things are kind of report, like what you said, that you can always generate that will help you to make this easy instead of you to be going front and back or wasting time in generating the report as the management may need it. Then we now have accounting module. The accounting module, of course, from the account, you can be able to set up your chart of account. You can be able to add your bank and the cash, like this, your chart of account, right? You can also be able to set up your cash and bank account. You can also be able to set up what we call item account. Item account, you know, as an accountant, sometimes if people are into different line of business, there may be need that the business owner want to be able to separate the income in a way that you can be able to see the income that the business have made from each line of the product. So you can use item account to be able to set up those accounts accordingly. Then we have what we call expenses, which is a module that you can use to manage all your expenses, right? You use it to manage all your expenses. Then we have a module that we called customer receipts, which I've talked about before, to receive payment from customer. Then we have other income. Other income is used to bring in any income that is not from the sales of daily activities. For example, the company have investment somewhere, and you need to what do I say? You need to be able to, when they pay them like interest, and they want to bring it in into the company. So you will use other income to register that. Then we have process journal entries. Journal entries, well, of course, as an accountant, where you can be able to use to pass journal as the case may be. Then we have supplier payments, which is used to pay supplier. We have money transfer. So this money transfer is a module that we use to register money transfer in terms of maybe you have First Bank and you want to pay somebody, you pay with that First Bank that day. You know, next time, maybe you want to pay again, you, sorry, please, I missed my words. Money transfer is used to move money from one account to another account. For example, the people who are into sell in cash, and at the end of the day, they were asked to pay that money into a particular bank account. So we use it to record that this money have moved from cash to bank. It can also be that you transfer money from one bank to another bank. So you can be able to do that. Like what you said, it make it easy that when you want to generate your cash book report and a bank account report, so everything will become easy and seamless for you, right? That is why if you look at that here, we have what we call cash and bank report. But before I talk about cash and bank report, I'm looking at the banking module. Banking module is a very special module again that we do in Norakle that help business owner to be able to reconcile with their banking operation. For example, you know that every deduction that is made in the bank is also part of expenses on the company. So because of that, we make a provision. Hello, sir, are you talking to me?
No, I'm with you. Go ahead.
Okay. So we make a provision that will enable you to import bank statements. So this module will enable you to import bank statement into the system and link it to the right account. So it just to simplify the process and also make your reconciliation process easy, right? Because this, after you have imported bank statement, especially those small deductions that you are not recording daily, so you can easily import it to make it easy for yourself. Then we now have we is used to is there any transaction to the report is under management. Apart from those reports that I've talked about under the customer, we also have a report that we call management reports. So this management report is where you can be able to see the profit and loss of the company over a period of time as selected, the balance sheet of the company, and the trial balance of the company. So all these things are very much possible in Norakle. So we also have payroll. Payroll is used to manage the staff in terms of the staff information, the payment definition, define the salary structure of each staff, like how much are you paying for a particular staff, and also you use it that every month you can run your money structure, also the deduction of a staff for the with Norakle ERP, right? Then apart from the this, you can also generate your pay slip. You can also manage salary advance. You can also manage your salary advance, right? Where you can be able to allow your staff to be able to collect money and pay through their salary. So all those things are very much possible with Norakle ERP. I've talked about bulk SMS. You can also send bulk SMS to your audience. Then another thing I also want to talk about is access management, especially for your kind of business. You know, your equipment is always huge when it comes to cost. Yes. So access management is very, very key, where you can be able to manage your assets in terms of keep proper access information, even managed by their categories, and also the location. Like on a go, by the location, you can be able to track assets in a particular location, especially people like your business that may have branches. So you can be able to track the assets and location at which that assets resides. So all these things are very much possible. And don't forget, assets depreciate. So the system also enables you to be able to calculate your depreciation, right? That is the one where you are entering an asset, you can be able to select whether to post depreciation, whether not to post depreciation. So all these things are very much possible with Norakle ERP. So I don't know if we also have HR. HR
So I can't hear you again. I don't know if it's also happening to other people. Mr. Yang, please, can you hear me? Yeah.
You what that Norakle can do. So I don't know if you have any question to ask.
Yes, I really appreciate your lecture, and in fact, I really appreciate it, and I so much understand, and this is all what I'm being looking for, because it is a new organization in which I'm the pioneer accounting officer for the company. So, and all this thing, I've been doing it with the normal way. That is, I do it without any, only Excel I'm using, so I need to do it physically, and it is not that easy. So yes, with this Oracle ERP, I hope I'm good to go. So it's for me in my hand. In fact, I so much appreciate it, and then I pray that I will keen into it. So when I start, if I have any other question, I think I will ask. But having said that, concerning this under the accounting schedule, that is, you talk about process journal entry. In this journal entry, there is, I didn't see this, you know, we have a petty cash book, but in all the tutor, I've not seen anywhere you made mention of this petty cash book. And then in this our own hand here, the petty cash book is one of the important aspects of the job, because it is not easy to be going to bank on daily basis for the expenses. So how do we put this petty cash book into the system? So that is number one. Then secondly, on the banking model of a thing, that banking, you know, though according to the company policy, all the transactions must go through bank. Anything that you want to do, the payment by the customer, don't collect cash, you must pay through bank. And then if you need anything, then we raise check or all this. Then you made mention of, in that banking model, you made mention that you can easily all this checkbook, and how do we link? Are we going to link our account details or the account number to the Oracle, or how they are going to manage the two together in order to have that bank reconciliation statement? So I need more explanation in that regard. Then lastly, on the asset management, you made mention of the tracking of the asset. You know, under the assets now, we need asset register and some other things. Then I hope the system incorporates this asset, the asset register into the system, because I've seen there's depreciation there, which I so much appreciate. Then the asset register, how do we, is it part of that asset management? So for now, these are the things I need more clarification on. Hello?
Yes, I can hear you very well. Okay, so to answer it, first, you talk about petty cash. How can you be able to bring in petty cash into the system, right? Yes. So under this account, we already have provision, which are here. You see what I call a cash and the bank, right? To add it, we click on add, for example. So I can create an account now that I call petty cash, right? Are you with me, sir?
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I have somebody.
I hope you are still seeing my screen.
That is what I want to.
I hope, sir, you are still seeing my screen.
Yes, it's not showing well. Yes.
If it's not showing well, I can stop it and share it again. I didn't want you to understand what I'm saying. Hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Can you see my screen very well now?
Yes. Okay, so it is not showing very well. I don't know what happened. Maybe it is my hand here.
Let me stop and share it again. Let me stop and share it again.
Okay.
Can you see it now?
Yes.
Okay, now what I'm saying is that you can create a petty cash account, like what we are seeing here, petty cash, right? Under cash book, right? Then when you create this, for example, if you create this, for example, you can, if you create petty cash account, you can see petty cash. So anytime you want to run expenses, if you click on accounting under expenses, when you are making payments, let's say that you buy fuel. I'm using that as an example. Let's say you buy fuel. This is fuel and lubricant. You select petty cash, if it's petty cash that you use, and you put the name, you put the amount. I seen it. Let's say you pay internet. You also use petty cash. Let's say internet. I'm just using this as an example. You use petty cash. So you enter the amount of the money you spend for the internet. And when you create this, you are seeing my screen, right?
Yes.
If you go to your report, which is where, what do you need that at the end of all this entry, can I be able to generate report? I'm clicking this. So with this, you are good to go. This is the report of what me and you just entered now. Do you see it?
Yes.
So if peradventure now, they now pay in petty cash, you know, they will, maybe they use, they ask you to go and withdraw a social amount from bank, which is petty cash that we are using. Am I correct?
Yes.
All you need to do, you go to money transfer and say, okay, new transfer. You say that they, let's say they use bank. Of course, you will set up your bank. Let's say they use this bank, and you say they fund, you withdraw money from social bank, which is, and the money we use it for petty cash. Let's say they send you 500,000 as the case may be.
Yes.
I get what I'm saying.
Yes,
you enter it. So when you enter it, you submit it. So if you go to that report again, the same petty cash, you select petty cash, you run your report. So you see it, 500, and this expensive, this, that. This is your balance. So that is what you need. So what make easy? as you make your entry every day, anytime you need your report, come and generate your report. Is it not what you are looking for, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. Very well. In fact,
Good.
very good, very good.
Then another thing you ask is, can you be able to set up your bank account? Yes, still the same place. You will set up your own bank account names accordingly. Like the one you are seeing here is the one we have set up as demo. And don't forget, when you are setting up, is when you will select whether it's a bank account or cash book. I hope it's clear.
Yes, very clear.
Then the second question you ask is
assets.
Assets. So this is assets management. You can be able to register all your assets. And your assets, if you selected post depreciation, it will calculate depreciation every month for you. And you don't need to do any manual calculation. I don't know if that is your question.
Now, how about the assets register?
Yes, as you register now, let's say, for example, now, I have a computer. Let's say this is a number of computers. I have, let's say, Dell laptop. Let's say 2790. I will put the serial number of that Dell laptop. I will select the category of it. Location. Okay, first, you will set up under the assets, you will set up the different locations where your assets is. Right? Here is location. You can set up, like what you said. If it's an office, let's say I'm saying MD office, for example, MD office, let's say MD office, Lagos branch. If you have different branches, if you don't have branches, it can just be MD office. I don't know if you get what I'm saying.
I'm with you.
You put the location. You can create as many locations, maybe let's say Ghana.
Yes.
You can create as many as possible, right? Sorry, Abuja. So you can create as many as possible. When I'm adding an asset, my assets, I can now say, we have assets, the computer, the number, the serial number, of course, computer equipment. I select whether it's in the MD office, Lagos branch, or Abuja. I select which account do we use to, as in the account, if it's, if it's on existing assets, it's no more. If it's existing assets, it's no more from bank now because it's an asset that's existing.
Yes,
so it can be under a pariah account, or if it's existing account, it should be pariah account. You understand what I mean by pariah account? Then the amount they purchase the assets, the current value, if it's existing assets, you put the current value if you have. Then you put the residual value, which is the value at which you will dispose that assets. Who do you purchase the assets from? Enter the information, the date of purchase, which will be in the receipt, the depreciation start date, you put it. Then here is where you will now say, okay, post depreciation, do not post depreciation, do not post to ledger. Depending on what you select, the system will work accordingly for you. Are you with me?
Yes.
And at every time, you will see your report without any challenge. I don't know if you really understand everything I explained, sir.
Very well, very well, very well.
So this, like what we say, this is not just a system, but is a system that you are sure that by using it, you are sure that all your transactions will become seamlessly. I don't need to bother yourself too much in keeping record, right? Because once you see what I enter now, you can even run maintenance on a particular asset. Like if, let's say you have a motor vehicle, whenever the service is, you can register the service. Then, of course, this is your report, assets report. You can be able to see all your assets on a go, right? You can even see assets that their depreciation dates have reached. So all those things are very much possible in Norakle system. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. In fact, it is well understood and very clear lecture. Thank you very much. I think I'm okay with it. So what is the next action? I think Esther can come in now to tell me what is the next thing to do. Yes, I understood which this is what I'm looking for, and it is I'm good to go. So it is
Okay.
just that I will write. Apart from this one now, the next thing for me in my own hand now is to prepare a report. Once I get that, what we record, then I will prepare a report, attach it, and send it to the top management. And then I know with this, the question they will ask me is that, am I okay with it? And as far as I'm concerned now, I'm very okay with it. So thank you very much, sir.
Oh, okay, you are welcome. Thank you very much. Esther will send you the information accordingly. Thank you, sir.
Okay.
So have a nice day.
Thank you very much for joining. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'll call you after this.
Okay, thank you very much.